Good morning, folks. Welcome to an OCC Queensland weather wrap. My name's Chris Nitzo. This update brought to you by our major sponsor, TownsvilleSheds.com. Check them out if you're in the market for a shed-safe, accredited shed. Alrighty, as we mentioned yesterday, lots of early morning and overnight shower and thunderstorm activity across southern inland Queensland. That's pushing eastwards fairly rapidly towards the Darling Downs this afternoon and eventually the southeast coast this evening and tonight. Showers and thunderstorms also in the Gulf country and the Gulf of Carpentaria, and lots of convective activity up here in the Gulf of Papua associated with a very weak area of rotation up there. We're going to see showers and thunderstorms developing over widespread areas of southern and central inland Queensland. You can see that reflected here as we go to 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. You can see them pushing eastwards. Eastwards a lot faster in the southern section. The central and northern section of that trough system hangs back a little bit further to the west. Isolated convection as possible anywhere inland of the coast on the North Tropical Coast, the Herbert Burdekin, maybe the Mackay Whitsundays inland of the coastline as well, and around the Gulf coastline and through the Western Cape as well. So there's opportunities there for some generally fairly weak convection on those coastal ranges or inland of the coastal ranges, but our stronger convection down south. As we progress into 7 p.m, 8 p.m, 9 p.m, 10 p.m, you'll notice that this convective activity pushes directly at the southeast coastline, so we should see a stormy night or a stormy early morning period through tomorrow. Notice also storms overnight early in the morning across the Gulf country, maybe a couple of isolated showers also overnight early in the morning across eastern parts of the Cape York Peninsula region. As we progress into tomorrow, it's a big storm day tomorrow afternoon, right across southeast and central east Queensland, particularly north of Brisbane. We're looking at some pretty significant and intense activity here in the morning. We're also seeing more widespread convective activity up in North Queensland tomorrow, but we'll talk about that in the morning. Or if you'd like to find out more about that today, head over to join.ozcyclonechasers.com.au and check out our subscription options. We go into way more depth and detail, and we go way further ahead into the future with our forecasts. In there, we're particularly looking at some severe weather threats, particularly close to the border in Queensland, New South Wales border area, and also through the Maranoa Warrego region, up into the Central West District too. There could be some pretty gusty thunderstorms out there as well through the afternoon, evening. You can see through the evening hours that severe weather threat extends through to the Darling Downs region and eventually to the southeast coast, although the severe weather threat by that stage will be lower because we're in the middle of the night time frame, or close to the middle of the night time frame by the time it gets over to southeast Queensland, so chances of that severe weather threat being actually realised become much lower. Rainfall between now and when we talk again in the morning, you can see particularly focused across the southern interior and central interior parts of the state where we're going to see some of our better thunderstorm activity, and notice that we are pushing some of that activity out towards southeast Queensland overnight tonight into early tomorrow, but it probably won't be quite as intense as the stuff that's going on further inland. Notice also Gulf country region, we're expecting to see showers and storms. Also across the northern goldfields up at Flinders, don't be too shocked if we see some pretty gusty storm activity through here. Very isolated convective showers, as I mentioned, across the eastern seaboard, particularly just inland of the coastline, and a couple of little rogue storms up here around the northern Cape. Could be quite gusty too up around the northern Cape. We've got some pretty strong environmental southeasterlies going on, once again because we've got a little rotational area up there in the Gulf of Papua. Strong and gusty northerly winds across southeast coast districts, also particularly inland in southwestern and western Queensland. We've got strong southwesterly, gusty southwesterlies, in fact, out here on the western side of the trough system. Other than that, it's pretty nice conditions. Just be aware of the sea breeze this afternoon. There's going to be quite a few areas of the state that are going to witness a pretty gusty sea breeze. And once again, up through the Torres Strait, we might just see a slight enhancement of that southeasterly flow on the south side of that rotational maximum up there in the Gulf of Papua. We are expecting a fairly fresh to strong southeasterly change tomorrow morning, pushing up through southeast Queensland, and that change will obviously be the catalyst for some big thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon around the Sunshine Coast, Wide Bay Coast, Burnett District, and through the Central Highlands and Coalfields. And as I said, we'll talk about that in the morning tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Good luck if you're in line with the chance of a storm. I'll talk to you in the morning.